What's up, everyone? Matt Gajewski here, back again with the Odd Shopper channel. Today, we're talking some college football bets ahead of Week 8. It is the Wednesday night doubleheader. Before we get started, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so when this and all other content goes live. We're also brought to you by Bet365, and they have a deal for those of you in Kentucky, Ohio, New Jersey, Virginia, Iowa, Colorado, Louisiana, Indiana, Arizona, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. What you'll do is click the link below, make your first deposit with Bet365. Bet $5 in any game, could be a side, could be a total. Whether it wins or loses, you are getting $200 in the form of bonus bets. You must be 21 or older to play, 18 in Kentucky. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. But take advantage of these when they are around. They will not be around forever. Okay, we have two games. Little bits of Conference USA action, and we kick things off at the top with Western Kentucky taking on Sam Houston State. 2.5-point spread is the consensus. That's in favor of Sam Houston. The total is 56, which is a bit high considering how Sam Houston played last year. But then you dive under the hood, Western Kentucky 35th in pace, Sam Houston 66. So there is some pretty good pace to this game, despite Sam Houston running that weird offense with their 37% pass rate. Western Kentucky, they're honestly not passing it as much as they have in recent years. They're at 51.5%. But ultimately, not too much sticker shock in this game. This opened at 3. I regretfully did not play it at a +3 because Western Kentucky is the side I prefer. This is probably one of the better games you're going to see in this conference this year. These two teams are actual contenders. They will vie with Liberty for the title victory. And there are some pretty good efficiency metrics. We have some pretty decent data points. Western Kentucky has been able to put up points a lot this year. They almost beat Boston College. The score was 21-20. Boston College did have their backup QB, but still, very close game against an ACC team. They beat Toledo in a game that was delayed forever, but outside of that, in games where they are supposed to win and win with ease, they did so. Middle Tennessee State, they won 49-21, UTEP 44-17. So this team is taking care of business. Sam Houston quietly has done the same thing. They've had some QB issues, and they did have a fluky win against Texas State, 40-39, with a 37% post-game win expectancy. But still, that's a good data point. Texas State was the favorite to win the Sun Belt, at the beginning of the year, and then they have basically beat up on all the teams they should have, played reasonably well against the better teams on their schedule, like UCF. So two quality teams. At the quarterback position, I give a very big edge to Western Kentucky. Caden Veldkamp is the signal caller there. He's actually run bad, too. He has a 69.5% completion for 8.5 yards per attempt. He has 5 picks on 5 turnover-worthy plays. Unsustainable rate for turnover-worthy plays being converted to interceptions, so at some point, we would expect this to regress for him. And the foundation is good. 58th in pass blocking, 36th in run blocking, good receiving play, just isolating their efficiency. They come in 55th in efficiency. And Sam Houston's defense has been a weakness this year. 95th in total defense, 128th against the run, 27th in pass rush, and 67th in coverage. They've been a little injured. They had a couple guys out of their last contest. Arabi Asala has been out for the year. He's a broken leg. Sincere Jackson, their starting linebacker, played limited snaps, and then Eamon Allen missed their last game at corner. It's been tough sledding for this team on defense. They have a lot of production. When you just dive into the individual signal callers, like Cade McConnell had success against this team. McLeod obviously had success at 8.4 yards per attempt. But they've shown cracks, and last year they weren't showing cracks. So when they get to offense, they don't have as much room for error. And Hunter Watson has provided a lot of errors. He has 11 turnover-worthy plays, 5 interceptions, so he's been running a little hot on his turnover-worthy plays, not getting converted. But 59% completion, 6.5 yards per attempt. His best work comes on the ground. But the O-line is bad for Sam Houston. 109th in pass blocking, 107th in run blocking. They don't have a lot of great skill position players. The best are actually their receivers, which is surprising, but Malik Phillips has been hurt. And Western Kentucky's average on defense. They're 62nd in total defense, 18th against the run. That's extremely important in this matchup with Sam Houston's 37% pass rate. And then they're 122nd in coverage. So they've been victimized on the back end, but they've been pretty stout against the run this year. And that makes sense. They also allowed Cade McConnell to have a productive game. Then they face a backup for Boston College. Nick Vadiato was at nearly 15 yards per attempt, so they've definitely shown cracks through the air, but they've stood up reasonably well every single time they face competent opponents on the ground. So right away, I think you can take a look at a Western Kentucky side. I missed a 3, so now there's no real rush to take this. I'll wait and see what we can get as this game gets closer to kickoff, but that's the side. Next up, we go to FIU taking on UTEP. It's -7 in favor of FIU. 47.5 is the total. I bet this on Sunday night. I bet it at -6, I believe. I'll pull this up for you guys and tell you the actual number I got, but was expecting movement. There was an injury to Cade McConnell in the last game. I got 5.5. So I would try to find this under 7 if you could. 7 is probably fine. Otherwise, if it's not at that number, wait till kickoff and see if Cade McConnell's playing for UTEP. But anyway, I guess to dive right into that data point, that's the biggest story we have here. Skylar Locklear, he'd been the quarterback to start the year. He got benched, and Cade McConnell had sort of provided some juice to the offense, at least from a yards per attempt standpoint, 7.6 to 6.5. The weird thing is both these guys have exactly 7 turnover-worthy plays, and Skylar Locklear has played more. You could make a legitimate argument that he just ran bad because not all 7, but more of his 7 turnover-worthy plays have been converted to picks. He's a better rusher than McConnell. Bottom line I'm trying to make here is these guys aren't very good. Neither of them is particularly strong. Their offensive line, 53rd in pass blocking, 103rd in run blocking. They don't have a single guy on their offensive line above 84% of the snaps. So they continue to rotate. It's been a complete and utter mess for them. They're also hurt on defense. Last game, no A.J. Odoms at corner, no Corey Chapman at safety. Trey Dunson, one of their rotational linebackers, didn't play. They lost one of their starting receivers, Jaden Smith. So on top of the offensive line being a revolving door, a quarterback who may or may not play, you have a lot of other foundational pieces at various positions injured. FIU has played reasonably well this year, and they have shown some blips on the radar to be poor, but they got blown out by Indiana. That'll happen. They beat Central Michigan, who's a middling team in the MAC. They lost to FAU. That's not great. They lost to Monmouth, but they had an 82% post-game win expectancy, so they did that to themselves. But then they beat Louisiana Tech, and played serviceable against Liberty. That was a game that was actually pretty close overall in yards per play. Keon Jenkins, he's been better as they've gotten into Conference USA play, 63% completion, 7.8 yards per attempt. 8 turnover-worthy plays, but they've started to come down. The big problem with this team is their offensive line is also terrible. They're 114th in pass blocking, 80th in run blocking. I do think they're working with a better cast of skill position players, though. They've been very deep at running back. And then their receivers, they've actually found something in Dean Patterson and Rivers. I wasn't expecting them to be as good as they are. On defense, that's where this team has really won games. They're 43rd overall, 106th against the run, 47th in pass rush, 16th in coverage. Want to focus on that for a second because UTEP is running an air raid with their potential backup quarterback down one of their starting receivers. Right now, they're passing 54% of the time, and it's been higher in a lot of situational spots. So that worries me a lot if you're on the UTEP side. You just are facing the strength of this Florida International defense. From there, can Florida International do anything against UTEP? I mean, this UTEP defense is 112th. They don't excel anywhere. Their highest efficiency metric is 99th ranked run defense. They're outside the top 114 in pass rush and coverage. So yeah, I like that they've shown some sparks at least on offense. FIU, that is, with Jenkins and the running backs and Rivers and Patterson. They should be able to get this done. Pace is actually pretty good. So another thing you could potentially look at in this spot maybe is just going to a total. I'll pull that up because it seems that people are automatically assuming McConnell doesn't play. And again, the efficiency metrics between McConnell and Locklear haven't been all that different. So I am somewhat interested in buying back on an over now that it looks like it might be Locklear, but people don't seem to have taken a look into the efficiency metrics. Anyway, right now, lean is Western Kentucky plus a 2.5. I'll take a +3 if it pops up. If it comes down to kickoff, I'll have to make a decision. And I'm already on FIU minus a 5.5. I think under 7 is okay if you can find it. And then tentatively on an over. We'll take a look at that as it gets closer to kick. Thank you guys for watching. Betting U is already out on this channel. If you want to take a look at some of the marquee games on Saturday, myself and Ben Reza talk through them. You can always request games for our other shows on those in the comments or reach out to me on Twitter at Matt_Gajewski. Until next time, good luck, everyone. We'll see you later.